This is Date Night.
Hello. Welcome to Date Night with me, Laurel House. I'm your expert in all things relationships. I've been a celebrity dating, relationship, and communication coach for the past 15 years. I'm a 5-time published author, and many call me the man whisperer for my ability to translate men and women's thoughts into words in ways that communicate their heart's needs and wants. I'm also referred to as Cyrano by my clients who use my exact words in texts and during verbatim conversations, as I help them to communicate more accurately and effectively, especially when it comes to hard heart conversations that can cause the mind to draw a blank. But with practiced communication, it's easier to be intentional, speak calmly and clearly, and be confident about how they feel and what they need without apology, insecurity, or fear. More than one-on-one clients, I've been an interviewed expert on thousands of TV shows, magazines, websites, and podcasts, including the Wall Street Journal, Vogue, Vice, Washington Post, KTLA Morning News, Today Show, ABC Glamour, New York Times, Men's Journal, Los Angeles Magazine, and on and on. I'm also a relationship expert for eHarmony. So, what am I doing here on your airwaves and in your ear? I'm here to be your dating, breakup, love, and everything relationships coach, too. During today's date night, we're going to dive into the number one cause of relationship breakups and lack of second dates and how you can avoid it. And I'll give you some interesting and fun date night ideas that will make your date night something you really look forward to, in addition, of course, to your weekly dose of me. Each week, you can expect immediately actionable dating and relationship advice, deep insight, and a look at my personal life lessons and date nights, in case you need some real examples of do's and definitely do not do's. I'll share my secrets and some of my professional and personal stories to help illustrate real and relatable dating and relationship successes, screw-ups, and an array of love life scenarios. And I'll answer your direct questions. Message me what you want me to talk about. Dating, love, relationships, sex, confidence, pickup, breakup, heartbreak, any of it. I have a strategy for all of it. And I said strategy because dating, relationships, and love, feelings really, it's not about games. And gaming seems to be what a lot of people do. But we are not kids anymore, and this is not a playground. This is real life. The reason games are played is because we're afraid to be real, for fear that if we expose who we really are, they might not like us, reject us, and hurt us. The problem is that playing games is actually what causes others to not like, reject, and hurt us. Because when we're wishy-washy, sketchy, or playing out any of the many trendy terms these days, like love bombing, gaslighting, catfishing, zombieing, ghosting, many of which are under the umbrella that I developed called RomConned, which is another show that is also airing, then others view that inconsistent behavior as confusing and manipulative, wondering who you really are and questioning your integrity. And let me tell you, integrity, it's very sexy. Someone with integrity is strong in their beliefs and values. They don't waver, fluctuate, appear wishy-washy, or easily influenced. They know what they believe in and they stand by it. Others can depend on what they say, and their actions align with their words. They have unshakable beliefs and show and tell the same story, and that makes others feel safe. And a feeling of safety is one of the most crucial elements when it comes to someone's ability to trust, let down their guard, open their heart completely, and feel really sexy. And for me, feeling safe is one of the most attractive feelings. When you make someone feel safe, they know that they can depend on you for good or bad, in sickness and in health, weakness and triumph. In moments of uncertainty, the one thing that they can be certain of is you, because you have integrity, and make them feel safe. Instead of games, dating is about clarity and confidence. Confidence in who you are, what you bring to the table, what you need, what you expect to get, and what you will accept. Same with relationships. So that's the large nutshell of what I'm doing here. I'm going to demystify, decode, reveal, and expose the secret language, thoughts, feelings, and intentions of men and women. They are my man whisperer ways. Because dating shouldn't be so confusing. My strategies are built on a foundation of what I call the 3 C's. Communication creates clarity and gives you confidence so that you can be authentically vulnerable and find real love at last that lasts. My intention is to give real talk advice that will change your dating and love life immediately. You can expect confidence-boosting, empowering, attraction-creating, magnetism-making secrets and strategies that I hopefully will infuse into you every date night. Listen up and take notes. But before we get into the real meat of love and relationships, dating, and even sex, more than my professional relationship and dating expertise side, I want to tell you a little bit about me, because in order to get to know each other, build connection and trust, it's important to understand who someone is and where they came from. Because a person's why, really more than their what is most interesting. It's a person's why that helps them show who they are. It's what they came from. It has shaped their perspective of who they are now. So I am Laurel House. I am a born and bred West Angelino, though I did live in Kansas City, Missouri for 3 years and part-time in New York during that time. I'm a mom to 4 young children, ages 1 through 10, and I'm 47 years old. I'm happily and healthfully married, but I've been a single mom struggling and dating, and I've had my share of unhappy and even toxic relationships. I have been RomConned, that term I mentioned that I coined to define the all too common experience of being romance-conned. And that story, which was terrifying, and I'm truly and honestly lucky to be alive, like for real, will be another date night, and I also talk about it on my show, RomConned. But let's get back to being happy. Well, I wasn't always. I've been insecure, numb, mean, ashamed, made to feel ashamed and worthless and unworthy. I've been angry, made to feel small, and also made another feel small. I feel like I have shape-shifted to accommodate others' needs and preferences, lost myself, redefined myself, and finally found my way home to where I am now. I've been careless with the hearts of others, and I still secretly beat myself up for it. And my heart has been carelessly mistreated too. I have shut down, walled up, and wrestled with my own demons, finding simple ways to cope before discovering harder ways to heal and learn and grow and move forward. I've made decisions based on what I thought I should, other people's opinions, misaligned priorities, and chasing hopes and fantasies. I love experiences and feelings and the full spectrum of them. And in my attempt to chase it, I jump into all that I do passionately, with 2 feet, fully immersing myself into the hopes that it will turn out great. And then I have to extract myself in an attempt to clean up the mess that I made. The winding road, crazy details, dynamic people of my love life, I've been told, is more interesting than fiction and worthy of a novel and a Lifetime movie. And the intensity has been exhausting. It's not clean or pretty, though moments have been, and it's not a fairy tale, but again, moments. And now, I'm obviously an oversharer of my experiences, screw-ups, mistakes, and heartbreaks, but this oversharing of me actually isn't about me. It's about you being able to relate to me. You seeing that you aren't alone, you seeing that missteps can be redirected and your path reset. I have lived extraordinary lives and some scary ones. I have felt all of the emotions and had entirely too many experiences for one person, but that has allowed me to understand your feelings and personally relate to your experiences. And I've been judged and hated on and bullied because of it, and that was hard. But all of that allowed me to be a better coach, more compassionate human being, and get to this place of absolute surety and resolve in who I am, what I need, and where I am now. And so it was worth it, I guess. What I realized from all of that is that I need simple yet deep, enduring, and resilient love, kindness, respect, joy, happiness, and more than anything else, family, sitting around the dinner table, holding hands, having inside jokes and side smiles, being wholly seen, accepted, and supported for my quirks and introverted needs. Having weekly date nights, annual vacations, little getaways, plus simple luxuries. I am married to my very first love from when I was 14. We reconnected initially as friends as I was fighting against wanting anything romantic for fear of being hurt again. Despite him showing up behind the scenes in my thoughts and dreams and fantasies throughout the decades that we were apart, I couldn't fight against us anymore, so now I fight for us. And as awkward as it may have been for him to date a dating and relationship coach with my over-communicative, over-analytical, overthinking style of being, and even though we first started as puppy love and grew into fully formed, stubborn, and opinionated adults, with our own experiences and set ways, we have learned and truly are still learning how to enjoy that simple love and family together. That is just too much. But for tonight's date night, we're going to dive into what I have found to be the number one reason why couples and daters end it, don't continue and break up, or give up before it even really had a chance, even when that relationship could have been the relationship that endures. So, what's the problem? It's not fighting for the relationship or for the possibility of a relationship if you're just dating. The problem is giving up on a relationship because it's too hard, inconvenient, ego-affronting, or challenging you to expand or level up. If you're dating, the problem is not knowing when to give someone one more shot, one more date, one more opportunity to create connection, different from the rare and truthfully unhealthy spark of chemistry? Or is it time to stop wasting your time and say thank you next? So, what was that problem again? Fighting for it versus giving up and moving on. Or maybe it is time to give up and move on. How do you know? Well, we're going to talk about both the relationship and dating side of this question. And remember, if you want your questions answered on date night, please send me an email to laurel@laurelhouse.com or DM me on Instagram at Laurel House. And please like and subscribe to my channel. All right, let's start with the relationship scenarios. They say that anything worth doing is worth fighting for. Your relationship, if it's healthy or can be with some work, has the chance of enduring and becoming your rock for the long haul if you maintain it, also known as fighting for it. Establish healthy habits, like weekly date nights, which won't fix a deeply disconnected marriage, but it can help to work on your connection, even if it's awkward at first because you're so out of practice. Even setting rules can help, like, you know what, we aren't going to argue or talk about the kids. We're not going to fight. You know what, we can disagree, but we can table that for another time. Because just as you don't fall in love, but instead you drift into love, you can also drift out of love. And with effort, you can drift back in. So let's start drifting back in. You have changed, you've grown, you've expanded and shifted, and so has your relationship and romance. But know that sometimes it's the littlest shifts that can make the biggest difference, like your tone or stopping that squabble by stopping and kissing your partner and saying, you know what, let's not do this. Let's be better than this. Because romance and intimacy isn't just about the bedroom. It's about the in-betweens of your relationship, the little things, the small gestures that make you feel connected and cared for. That's what creates intimacy. Like my husband today, because he knew this was my first date night and I was a little bit nervous, he put a note next to the coffee maker saying, "You've got this, I'm proud of you." And it just gave me this little extra boost of like, you're good, Laurel, you're loved. So stop just sitting within the relationship and existing, expecting the other to do all the work. Don't numb out. Put in the effort. Both people in the couple need to make the decision to make the effort, to be all in, not one foot in and the other foot is ready to run in a moment's notice. That being said, effort types and style can be different for each person. So if the other isn't seeing or feeling the effort you put in, have a conversation about it, because you don't want your effort to be overlooked and resentment to build. There's a song by Andy Grammer called "Don't Give Up on Me" that plays in the background of my mind when I think about fighting for a relationship. The lyrics are, and I'm going to save you from my voice, but the lyrics are, I will fight for you. I always do until my heart is black and blue. And I will stay with you. We'll make it to the other side like lovers do. So it's worth a listen. I won't sing it because I really have a bad singing voice, but not all relationships are worth fighting for. So is yours. Is it healthy? And if it's not right now, why isn't it? What's missing? Which reminds me of the question, is the grass greener on the other side? No. I mean, maybe it is greener on the other side because you aren't watering your grass, but your neighbor's grass, it's being watered in order to attract interest from others like you. The point is that the grass is green where it's watered. If you start neglecting your grass, it will dry out and die. And the feeling of neglect can create deep resentment that roots down and takes hold of the foundation of a relationship, poisoning it at its core. Literally imagine roots growing out of a little seed of resentment. And as those roots grow and thicken and take hold of the once healthy foundation, they turn into disdain and into contempt. And those feelings are one of the main predictors of divorce. So let's avoid that. Let's nip it in the bud before that seed of neglect gets a chance to sprout. Fighting to make a relationship healthy, again, is about remembering who you two can be together and getting back to that baseline of love and connection. That doesn't mean that you should live in a constant state of romanticizing and wishing for the return of the past, nor should you be in an endless futurizing of when-then headspace. Your relationship from the past, it's in the past, but you can use it as an example of your core love, your core connection, your ability to connect on a happy and healthy level again, when this new and improved relationship is being tended to and watered. But really, fighting for your relationship means not allowing it to get to that place of dry, dead grass in the first place. It's not about having to resuscitate it, but instead to be on top of the health of it, just like you would your grass, unless it's fake. So your flowers or your business. You put constant effort into that, right? You show up for that, right? You don't wait until it's limping and on its knees and not in a good, sexy way before you give it some attention. Because constantly having to bring something back to life is exhausting. So don't let it get to that deathbed state. Don't let it get to that I don't feel like trying anymore place. That is, if it has the ability of being great. And the only reason it's not right now is because you stopped trying. Because isn't the truth that when your relationship is healthy, you're happy? They say that one bad seed can ruin the whole crop, and it's true. When one area of your life is off, it can infiltrate the energy and outcome of the other areas of your life unless you're excellent at compartmentalizing. Or maybe you try to cover up the negative feelings of that area by looking elsewhere for some Band-Aid attention, which can lead to a slew of new massive issues in your relationship, emotional and physical affairs, distrust, and then a real reason for the relationship to end. So that's why I say to nip this whole thing in the bud before it spirals out of control. And it's so easy when you're still in the early stages of all of this to drop the ego, say, I'm sorry, look at what you did wrong or what you can do better, and focus on moving forward. It's not about one person winning. And it certainly isn't about losing yourself in the relationship. It's about finding balance, constant, daily, balancing. I know. It really can be exhausting, as I've said. And it also can be the most incredibly nourishing, stabilizing, rooting, strengthening, redefining thing once you find and define your relationship force field. And no matter how long you've been together, you can do this. It's not too late or too early to redefine, reset, and renew your path together, just on a slightly different path. So, what makes a relationship healthy? Well, that's up to you. It's personal. How do you feel together? When you two are good, how do you feel? Are they satisfying your needs? Are you satisfying those needs in them? What is it that makes it go off the rails? If it's something that you're doing or effort you aren't putting into your relationship, then reverse it. What if your partner did or said or acted as you are doing right now? How would that feel? How do you reset or change once you've gotten into the cycle, habit, routine, or norm of being off? What little things start that destabilization? Is it when you stop saying goodnight, stop holding hands, stop doing the little things that you know make them happy because you just don't feel like it? Notice when those micro shifts start and stop them before your synchronization gets out of sync. Or maybe it's time to stop fighting. It's complicated, complex, and unless it's unhealthy and toxic, it is not straightforward. Do you recognize any of the following in yourself? Think about it. You stop wanting to be your best self. You stop putting energy into yourself, like shaving and makeup, and not because you feel comfortable, but because you don't care. You're making excuses for them. You feel like you're settling for less than you deserve. You don't want to touch them anymore. You make excuses as to why you can't have sex or even kiss right now. Everything and everyone else is more important than spending time with them. So what's going on? It might be that one of you has emotionally or physically already checked out. One of you may have numbed out within the relationship, and you simply don't care anymore. You're going through the motions without any real emotion. Or maybe it's gotten to a point of dysfunction, or even worse, dangerous. In which case, you have to end it. Your safety and sanity is more important than your fear or their feelings. How do you know if your relationship is dysfunctional or even toxic? The relationship can feel confusing because of the emotional roller coaster of ups and downs. Sometimes you might be happy and in love, and quickly there's a shift into sad, threatened, afraid, insecure, or angry. While, yes, most healthy relationships experience the occasional ups and downs, a dysfunctional relationship is littered with the consistently inconsistent emotions that can make you feel like you're walking on eggshells. You never know when an emotional eruption might be triggered. Sometimes the individuals in that relationship actually feel that they thrive on the dysfunction, like they feel this thrill in that toxic and unhealthy emotional havoc. The highs and lows can feel like an addiction. And like most addictions, it's unhealthy. Not all dysfunctional relationships can be saved. But in less extreme cases where there is no physical or mental abuse, a dysfunctional relationship might be able to be saved if both partners are aware of the problem and dedicated to actively make changes, both big and small, to stop the cycle. All of this can be avoided if you are aware from the very beginning of what you are okay with and what you are not okay with. Even small, not that big of a deal, comments and actions must be called out and addressed. You must show that you are unwilling to stand for even micro abuses, and that starts on day one. Have conversations about it. Change the relationship environment. And yes, that means from day and date one, because the first date is when you establish the foundation of the rest of the relationship. And we are going to go into all of those details in another date night, so do not worry. So if you are single and dating and you've been on just one or a few dates and you're not feeling it, how do you know if you should keep trying? Don't use chemistry or lack of chemistry as your guide. The goal is connection, and that takes time to develop, grow, expand. While love can sometimes be blind, chemistry can be blinding. Chemistry has been shown to have a similar response on the brain as drugs do. In fact, it's been equated to the sensation of heroin. Connection, on the other hand, builds, deepens, expands, and grows. You don't want to fall uncontrollably for someone. You want to grow your feelings and eventually grow in love because you want to rise up. Is it your list of wants? Don't confuse your needs and your wants. Your wants tend to be superficial and really don't contribute to a lasting and successful relationship, but true needs do. Be clear on your needs. Safe, sexy, seen. Makes you feel like a priority. Communication, mutual respect, admiration, kindness, infinite vulnerability. There are actually 36 universal needs that I developed. And when they are all satisfied in you both, and you are on purpose to fulfill them in one another, you increase your chance of a successful and enduring relationship. Is there always something wrong with them? Then start looking for reasons to say yes, not no. View the date as an exploration. Be all in, unattached, which means be present, interested, and curious. But as soon as your conversation or date is over, become unattached so that you don't feel or come across as needy or insecure. Be interested to see if you're interested, but not yet invested because they have not proven that they have earned your investment, interest, or attachment. Be interesting and interested, which means be clear on what makes you interesting, even if you feel like your life isn't interesting right now. The life you've lived and experienced shaped you into the interesting person you are today. Also be interested in what they are saying. Maybe the block to being interested in someone else is actually a you issue. Where are the blocks? Is your house messy and you don't want to bring someone home? Maybe what's messy is your mind, your heart, your life. If you're insecure about something, you might be making excuses for yourself by placing the spotlight blame on them. Maybe an ex or a needy friend or other overbearing relationship is still taking up residence in your mind, heart, or life. Are you still playing with space holders? Let them go. Seat holders are literally sitting in the seat of what should be an open space for someone who has the potential for something real. If your for real person senses that their seat is already occupied, even by a place filler, they might just keep walking by. Maybe you're comparing everyone, knowingly or not, to an ex, and no one is your ex, so no one is going to be enough. Maybe you're comparing everyone to social media or a movie or a fantasy or an idea. Maybe someone in your life is standing between you and your happiness. Maybe They always have a reason why that date doesn't deserve another. That being said, be clear on really why not to try and instead try. Do you know your 3 non-starters? Are there glaring red flags? Do they know about your red flags or what you perceive to be your red flags? Let them in on yours so that you can extract theirs. By being the example of your expectation and showing yours first, they will be more comfortable to come out with the truth of theirs. I know this can be a very scary conversation to have, and we're going to go over exactly what to say in a future date night. When it comes to first dates, and if someone deserves another, I believe in the power of 3. Give them 3 dates so that you can start to maybe feel something, see if there's a connection, because it takes time to peel back that onion. And sometimes the first date doesn't illuminate the truth and greatness about someone. So give them a chance. Let them really show up. Then you'll start to see if it's worth continuing to continue and eventually fight for. The same thing goes for you. You might need some time to really open up and show who you are. All right, let's relax a little and let's make a date. Dating, even dating your longtime partner, can feel redundant, boring, confusing, frustrating, exciting, intimidating, sexy, ego-deflating, overwhelming, anxiety-inducing, lonely, redundant. Did I already say that? But it doesn't have to. Think about the other areas in your life within which you excel, are confident, feel powerful and in control. You're happy, you're at ease, you're comfortable voicing your needs, you have a knowing, you seem to always get it right, and you're happy. It's time to learn how to translate those feelings of greatness, satisfaction, control, fun, openness, curiosity, and fulfillment into your love life too. By making a plan and being on purpose, you can do that. Because those feelings of greatness didn't just happen by themselves. You made them happen. You created your happiness. You worked hard at your success and fulfillment. Let's create happiness and fulfillment in your date night too. I believe in the 1, 2, 3, 4 relationship activities. Look at all these strategies. So for dating, you want to create an environment that activates and expands on your dating purpose. Is this date for the purpose of getting to know each other, having fun, getting emotionally deep, sharing interests? Different dating purposes require different date activities. Whether dating or in a relationship, the purpose is making a plan. So for longtime couples, having an established date night once a week is a great way to maintain excitement within the framework of routine. You're excited about the upcoming date. You think about it. You think about what you want to do. You look for ideas, putting effort and thought into it. That being said, also have an expectation of who is making that plan. Maybe you switch off each week or month, whatever works for you too. That way, there isn't disappointment from unfulfilled expectation or one person feeling like they're doing everything. Then communicate the purpose of the date. What do you both need that week? Are you tired? Are you excited? Do you want to go out and have fun? And this is for a first date and a 50th date. Do what you need, because if you do what you really need, then you can enjoy it. You can be present. You can be your best self. You can be on purpose. If you're physically or emotionally depleted, excited, invigorated, playful, inquisitive, then be true to that. And it's okay to make a change the day of, so long as you aren't canceling tickets purchased months ago or something like that. But even that can be canceled if it's necessary. That being said, if you're tired and you have the time, then take a nap. Do what you have to do in order to get in the game. Do a reset before you go out. Because especially on a first date, you don't want to present someone who's groggy, moody, uptight, out of it, angry, if that's not normally you, and make a bad first impression. Because you usually don't get a second chance to make a good first impression. You also don't want to go out with your partner and be on edge and get in a fight and ruin this date night that you both really looked forward to. Consider if you want to go to a regular date night spot. Or tonight, do you want to explore? What's the need based on your lifestyles? Maybe one of you is out and about all the time, having regular conversations with adults. Or maybe one of you is at home with the kids, having no real adult interaction and constantly having a kid in their arm and needing their body. I know that feeling. Maybe one of you is an extrovert and the other is an introvert. So how do you balance that? Okay, so now decide what exactly to do based again on your purpose. Do you want to go out and have fun and let your hair down? Is your mind super occupied because you had a crazy week, but you want to spend some quality time together? Do you want to be romanced and feel sexy? Do you want to explore your interests and introduce each other to your passions? Do you want to learn together? Or maybe you honestly, truly want them to take care of everything and just surprise you. Have a conversation about what you need, what you want before you get into it. Again, expectation. Is there space for spontaneity on your date? That's up to the two of you also. If you find out that there's a salsa class going on upstairs or a fun bar down the street after dinner, can you guys go? Okay, so now that we know the why, the purpose, and the point, open your mind to be open to the experience, which means that you need to be okay with the fact that it won't always be a win, and that's okay too. So, do you want some date night activity ideas? How about if you do something different and super romantic? Find a romantic restaurant with candles and plush, sexy furniture. Think The Bachelor. Or set up a little table in your backyard or even in the middle of your living room with candles and nice linens and tableware. And put on nice music and smells. It's the thought, the effort that makes it magical. Explore each other's passions and pastimes. Like, I used to be a dancer, like a modern dancer. So I took my husband to a dance performance recently because I wanted him to understand and maybe even more fully appreciate me and my why. What about going out and having fun? Play a sport or watch a sport, go to a comedy show, be kids again and do what you used to love to do when you were young. Be a tourist in your own town and do tourist activities. There are also opportunities to have conversations and learn more about each other at games that are kind of slow. Maybe go to a hockey game or a baseball game, or go try an escape room. Learn something. Go to a cooking class together. Learning new things gives you an opportunity to expand yourself and therefore the relationship. You have more things to talk about later on, more things in common, more shared experiences. You are therefore growing together. And this is important, whether it's a new relationship or a long-time relationship. Go to a museum, have a weekly class that you do together, or just a one-off class, and maybe do something totally random each week, and you switch off who gets to select that activity or that class. Or remember and dream. Visit open houses or swap meets. Talk about what you like, don't like, memories as a kid, dreams and fantasies that maybe you want to share together. Or just relax and reset together. Go to a singing bowls event or a salt cave, on a hike, botanical gardens, take a walk on the beach and have a picnic, have a couples massage. My husband and I actually have a date day every week where we go and get couples massages, and we test out different places each week. I suffer from migraines and he gets super tense at work. So the massages are not only necessary, but it's a nice way to connect. And then we go on our actual date after, where we're more relaxed and we can actually interact with each other. Maybe that date is just staying home and watching a movie and ordering in and snuggling. And since you aren't spending a lot of money on the date, then you can put that money into other things. Like, you realize that your sheets aren't very cozy and you want cozy sheets for next time that you have an at-home date night. We actually had a date night where we both got Rolfed at home in our room, which is this intense, deep massage. The point, as I said, is be on purpose to spend quality, focused time with each other. What you do is less important as long as you enjoy it together. But the overarching purpose of a date, whether it's a first or a 50th, is to connect and feel connected, because that feels good. You also want to be magnetic, memorable, and make them want more. And that's your date night for tonight. But remember, when it comes to dating, love, and relationships, you're never alone, because my advice is always in your head if you listen. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. If there was anything that you thought was interesting that I said, then please give me a like. And that's even if it's just like, that was interesting. I didn't really like what she said, but it was definitely interesting. It made me think. You know what? Give me a like just to let me know that there was something that was intriguing. And please comment, ask questions so that I can answer those questions in another date night. All right. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Still here? Oh my gosh! Yay! Because because I wanted to make sure that you remember to like my channel and subscribe and comment. Your feedback is so important to me. Oh, and also I have other shows that you can watch. You can watch RomConned with a criminologist, which is amazing because I love true crime. Or you can watch my Love Actually Academy, where I go deep into so many dating and relationship topics. There's so many things that you can watch on my channel, you guys. And I want you to keep coming back. So please let me know what you want more of, what you like, all of it. All right. Now, for real, I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.